What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Vinny's Corner. I'm your host, Vinny. Got the fellas here. Showtime. Cove. I don't know what it says there. We're not even going to address that right now. And Caleb. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for showing up. It's opening day.
I know Caleb knows what it says. That's why I have the smirk on his face.
Oh my God. So listen. Today is opening day. The Yankees are up 5-0. Nice
bad, bro.
So there's a bunch of stuff going on in sports, obviously, right? We are quickly approaching the NHL playoffs, right? Yep. So last week, Cove had given us his kind of top 5 power rankings. So we'll revisit that and see, and I'm sure Cove's got some questions that are leading into the NHL playoffs. We've got the NBA playoffs coming right up too, very quickly. With the news last week that we got that Cade Cunningham has a punctured lung. But they have looked awesome still and played good basketball in his absence thus far. So, who knows? And as I said, it's opening night. So let's just start off and let's get to my guy Showtime actually kind of has like a bit of a breakdown, right? He gives his rankings for each division across baseball. So it's day one. It's opening day. Showtime, take it away.
Yeah, so I did a little ranking here. My division winner predictions. So I'll start off with the AL East. I put down the Orioles to win it. That's just my biased opinion. I think they had a great offseason. They had a great offseason. I feel like they'll rebound a lot from last year. They added to pitching. I think their lineup will do better. The bullpen's a little bit of a question. But not being biased, I would say probably the Blue Jays or the Yankees win the division. Just because they're locked to win 90-plus games. They're locked. Pretty much a lock to win 90-plus games.
So real quick, on the Blue Jays, now I know they did some stuff in the offseason, right? To kind of shore up a couple of things. They also had some people leave the team as well.
Bichette.
Right, so we had Bichette leave, right? And then what did they do, right? So they brought in a pitcher.
They got Okamoto from Japan. And he's going to play third base.
Wasn't there another signing as well?
They signed a pitcher from Korea. Mm-hmm. His name is like Cody Ponce or something like that.
I thought they got somebody else.
They got Cease also. That's the big one.
I'm like, they got somebody from local.
Yeah, that's the big one.
So they've gotten multiple pitchers.
Yeah, the thing is 3 of their starting 5 are injured. So
Yep. Barrios, Savage, and Bieber.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why it's a good thing that they've brought in some pitchers, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know the situation with Bieber. I think Savage isn't anything serious though.
No, it's not. It's not.
Like he should be back in short order.
Yeah. And Bieber isn't too far behind either. He's just it's an off-season thing because he got tired in the playoffs.
Totally fair.
He came in the playoffs cold too. So and he's older. So the recovery age, the green recovery is way different.
It'll be very interesting to see what level we see from Savage. Like he stepped into the playoffs as an absolute gem, right? Complete game pitching type of pitcher. But he's like what, a second year, third year pitcher. He's a very young guy.
Second year.
Do you guys think he's going to be that? Like, is he going to end up like standing out this season? Could he kind of form into their in the next season or two?
No, I believe he's going to taper off. I think he's just going to be average. Just average.
Yeah, I think you can't expect him to be great. Like he could have an average season, but you can't expect him to be great in his first full major league season.
And it really matters on how the Jays really play around him because, there's been some just like look at this logic. Look, go to Colorado. Some of their pitchers are great, but their team around them makes them horrible.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, it'll be interesting to see. I think just from the standpoint, like we know he can handle the pressure side of it already.
Yeah,
So like,
definitely.
they don't have to worry about like if they get to the playoffs, they already know he's fine there.
Yeah.
Now they just now it's like, can we get another 20 win pitcher in our dugout? You know what I mean? That's what we want to see with this guy.
I don't about 20
you think
wins.
he'll be
I
a
don't
20 win kind of guy, or like a 10 to 15 more average. You're saying
probably around 10ish.
Okay.
Because they'll probably limit his innings just because he's so young.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they love to limit innings now.
Yeah, limiting
5
innings
innings of pitching.
The only time I ever bitch about that one is because Steven Strasburg, it kind of ruined his career because they did that to him.
I just don't like.
That's what it really started. Like,
it feels like to me, it has to be a pitcher by pitcher case, right?
Yeah.
Like, if my pitcher is good and comfortable, like I'm not just. Analytics say that he's reached 75 pitches. We should look at like if my guy is throwing 100 at 100 pitches, then like he is still in there, and he's like.
I just use him for example because of they had that run that they won the Nationals, and he did amazing, and that was the pitcher everybody thought Strasburg was going to be. But years before that, they put him on inning counts, and he was literally out by mid-August and didn't pitch until October. So it really hurt him in the playoffs.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So back to Showtime's ranking. Sorry, I just cut you off there.
You're good.
I'm an AL East guy. But at least I stayed off the Yankees.
You're good. Yeah, no. Yeah, Yankees are locked to win 90+ games.
They're locked to win that division.
How Fried and Rodon come back, that's a big factor of how their season will go. Because if not, their rotation could have some questions.
Definitely.
Well, so okay, right? We know they put because Carlos brought this up today, right? They finally put
they put him on the IL. Yeah.
Garrett Cole on the IR now. So on the IRL. So we know he's going to be off for a little while.
15 at least.
Yeah. And that's fine. Fried did hold up last season. Schlittler is it? Yeah, Schlittler.
Schlittler. Yep.
Cam Schlittler. Let's see what he develops into. I tried to grab him in all my fantasy baseball. I'm excited for him. Hopefully, he's going to show up. He's either going to be a bust or who knows. But we'll see.
Yep. And then there's obviously the Red Sox. I think they'll make the playoffs for sure. I think because they have a really good rotation. Starting off Garrett Crochet, Cy Young type pitcher, ace, top 3 pitcher in baseball. They added Sonny Gray by trade. They got Ranger Suarez from the Phillies. They have Bayo and Toley in the rotation. It's early. That's their 5th starter, and Toley got sent down to the minors. So they have a strong
I wanted
rotation.
The Yankees to get Ranger.
Yeah, Ranger's a nice ad.
Yeah,
the hold up with him was how much money he wanted for how many years.
Yeah.
So teams didn't want to budge.
They're getting better again. I expected more out of them last season. They're the kind of team that could show up and kind of mess it up for everybody else.
Yeah, they have a very solid floor, and depending how they hit, that's their ceiling.
For sure.
Like Roman Anthony's a star, They have Trevor Story at shortstop, Their middle infield's a little bit of a question, third base and second base. But they'll be a force in the AL West. I mean what is it? AL East, my bad. Blanket. The Rays, they're the Rays. They'll be around 500. Junior Caminero is a superstar. They have a solid rotation. Nothing special though.
So I guess here's what I want to ask first. Like we still got to jump into the rest of them. But what division is like what division in the AL do you think is like the top? Like in the NL, it's
AL East for sure.
West.
For sure. Yeah, it has to be the AL West. I mean East.
The AL East
Has to be the East.
AL
Has
West?
to be the East.
Oh, come
Has
on.
to be the
Oh,
East.
dude. What?
The AL East is definitely the most competitive, just because of the top three teams, four teams.
We know that you're a Mariners fan, but overall,
I mean, if the Rangers can compete, then the West could be just as tough.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So what do you?
I just think the AL East is by far the best division in baseball. I would say.
Well, yeah, because you got Boston, New York, and Toronto always competing,
and Baltimore too. Yeah,
I know, but I'm saying always competing. Baltimore's
Yep.
I expect Baltimore to be back. Like, okay, so if you look at Baltimore in the last 2 years, I expect to see more of like a 2 years ago Baltimore than last year.
I would expect somewhere in the middle. Like they won 100 games. They had the down season last year. I think it'll be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, last year was all the way like that was a bad season, man.
No, it was awful.
I enjoyed it, but
yeah.
So AL Central, what do we got?
Central, the Tigers win it. They win around 90-ish games, I would say. That rotation is very, very good. With obviously Skubal at the top, in an arbitration year. Not arbitration year, contract year, where he could get extended big time. So the Tigers probably will go all in or extend him. Like they'll go all in. If things don't go well, they'll trade him, most likely. Yeah, it's they
what do you
have
think about like what they have going on? Like, okay, so like Riley Green, that's their like budding star, right? Yeah. Are they gonna get another season? Like is this Gleyber Torres the Gleyber Torres that like he is, or was this
He's just
last season an aberration?
He's super consistent, pretty much. He's like he's nothing special, but he's not a great glove at second base, but he's not gonna strike out. He puts the ball in play, he'll set the lineup, top of the lineup, So
get on base.
Yeah, and they have their top prospect Kevin McGonigal made the roster. I think he wins the Rookie of the Year. Yeah, they have.
What position does he play?
Short. He'll play all over the infield, shortstops, third, second, pretty much.
He's a utility.
Yeah, pretty much. Because they don't have a set in stone position for him, just because they have infielders that move around.
No doubt. All right. So have the Royals done anything like
the Royals didn't do anything major, but what I count on them having is their ace, Cole Reagan's healthy. Because last year he missed a lot of time and struggled when he was healthy.
So now, Cove, let me ask you, because I know that you've kind of followed them a little tight just because obviously, they're in the AL Central. But because you're also a Bobby Witt fan, how do you feel about them this season?
Royals, I don't think they improved. They improved from last year's record, but I don't think this is going to be the KC team from the year prior.
Like it doesn't feel like they're doing the requisite work to build like the squad around Bobby Witt. I don't know. Like I feel like they could do more.
Yeah.
I mean, last year their lineup was pretty bad. They had a pretty good pitching staff, even with Cole Reagan's out, and he's a Cy Young caliber pitcher, I would say, like at his best. If they get a big leap from Jack Caglione, he's having a pretty good spring, and he had a pretty good WBC too. They brought in their fences. If they can score more, I think they'll be a wild card team at the worst. And maybe compete with the Tigers for the division, but I just think the Tigers are better.
The Tigers play solid baseball, like
yeah, they do.
You know what I mean? Like when I was talking,
they definitely play solid baseball. Yep.
They have a good pitching staff. They have a good lineup. Yeah.
Yep.
So like how the Yankees basically like, we get people who can hit home runs, and then like Like, what are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
like why do we have Bellinger? Why do we have Bellinger, Judge, Giancarlo like back to back? Like when they're all just trying to swing for the fences. Nobody's trying to put the ball in play. Like, what is going on?
That's the Yankees' downfall in October. They're swinging for the fences.
And like Detroit it feels like a team, and this is actually what I think is to a huge credit for Glaber and why he fit in so much better with that team because he was trying to do the Yankees culture, swing for the fences, and that wasn't working for him. And when he got to Detroit and started playing regular baseball, like he can put the ball in play a lot and often.
Yep.
You know, it's just like, I don't know, man. I'm a frustrated Yankees fan. Like we're kicking butt right now, but like, why not get frustrated?
No biggie. Man, you got the lead right now. You got the lead.
So what do we think about the AL West?
The West.
Now,
the Mariners are obviously the favorites, and for a good reason. They're one of the best teams in the AL, if not the best. Their rotation rock solid. Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Brian. You know, they're three of the. You know, they're one of the best three-headed rotations in the majors, if not the best. Cal, Julio, Randy. You know, they have a very, very, very complete team.
And Rivas also. Rivas pretty good too.
Yeah, JP Coffer, that's a big out for opening day. He's on the 15-day IL. So he won't be starting at shortstop opening day.
Now I'm going to ask you about the National League, but I'm going to ask you in kind of a different way. We're going to start. We're going to start with the assumption that the National League winner is the Dodgers. Okay,
they are.
However that sounds to anyone else, who cares? The reality is that we're already looking at the idea of them putting on a third, a back-to-back, a three-peat. That's the word I was looking for. A three-peat, which will be historic. And as a Yankees fan, if I don't see my team win, at least we could see some history and the Dodgers win. I don't know.
Oh my God, man.
Either that or have a new team win, but like any team that isn't the Dodgers will be a new team. So like,
it does not help.
So now,
it does not help. It's the Dodgers win again.
Who are your other National League winners? Who are your other division winners? And can any of them beat the Dodgers in a 7-game series?
Okay, I have the Cubs winning their division.
Cubs,
I think they're the biggest threat to the Yankees. I mean, the Dodgers, because they have a very solid floor. I know they lost Kyle Tucker, but they replaced him with Alex Bregman. You know, they at least tried to mitigate that loss. They have a pretty good rotation. Added Edward Cabrera from the Marlins, which adds a lot of juice to the rotation that they didn't have. The NL East, I have the Phillies winning. They lost Ranger Suarez. That's a big time playoff pitcher.
What's going on with Wheeler at the moment?
Wheeler right now, he's just recovering from his. What was it that he had?
I don't know, but I noticed like so it's kind of messed up.
It's from last season.
Everything I'm seeing was literally getting ready for our fantasy baseball draft, and I'm looking and I'm going day to day. Why is Zach Wheeler day to day?
Yeah,
what's going on?
Yeah, it's from last season. Yeah,
this is from last year, so hopefully he'll be ready to go when the season
he'll
starts.
Be ready to go. He's making rehab starts right now.
Okay, cool.
So, however he comes back, that's also a big part of how they'll, how their season will turn out. They have Andrew Painter, a rookie that's coming off of what is that? Tommy John? Yeah, it's Tommy John. He'll be their fifth starter, and a big key will be how he performs to mitigate the loss of Ranger Suarez. But they're a very well-rounded team.
Okay.
And the big thing with them is they have Schwarber, Harper, and all these guys. They signed them a while ago. They haven't made much noise in the playoffs. So time is kind of ticking.
This is my question, right? And so, this is open to everybody, obviously. have they done enough? Have they done anything that would lead us to believe that they are this season going to get over the hump and be able to beat the Dodgers in the playoffs? We know the Dodgers are going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Even if the Padres had like a crazy season, all that would mean is that the Dodgers were a wild card, and now the wild card is about to go into the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that would mean. But that's just the reality we're facing. So it doesn't feel like to me anyone in the NL right now can really compete or like anyone's done enough. The Mets are putting a lot of work, but the Mets just don't feel complete to me.
I mean, the Mets made some nice signings, but I just don't like where they're playing these guys. Bo Bichette is not a great defender in his career. They're putting him at third when he wasn't a great shortstop. So, how's that going to work?
Here's what I think now. This is my thought process. Now what I want to do, because Cove's questions will now dig into the baseball side of things. So now, Cove, I want to turn this side over to you. All right, so we've discussed what the best teams are, who's going to win what, right, in their divisions. We still think that the Dodgers are the team to beat, very obvious, so does everyone else. So, Cove,
yeah,
what are we looking at? What's going on for this MLB season?
So, let's see, MLB. Which early contender, because we all have early contenders, as we were talking with division leaders, looks built for October, and which one is just riding the opening week adrenaline?
Well, okay, so we know what the Dodgers are. We know what
Detroit
the Yankees
Dodgers.
are.
I would
Here's
say.
a question: what do we get from a team like the San Francisco Giants? They came out red hot to start the season last year.
Yeah.
What do we get out of them this year?
I think it'll be a roller coaster season, and they'll just be average, I think, as usual. Because they didn't really make any splash signings. I mean, you can say a full season of Rafael Devers, but I don't know. I think that doesn't really raise their ceiling, I would say.
So here's one that I think that we kind of touched on that can make a lot of noise, except they're in a tough spot because it's the AL East. So the Toronto Blue Jays are a very good team, right? The Yankees are a very good team.
Yep.
That being said, if the Red Sox were to get into the playoffs, they could be very problematic for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
In a series, they could be. They have a good bullpen, so they've got good pitching, and they can make some noise.
Yeah, pitching prevails in the playoffs, and you especially need pitching in Fenway because it's a very hitter-friendly park. So
I mean, to me, that would be like the team that's like low-key built for the playoffs already. Yeah. They're just in a hard place, Cove, to actually get there because of the division they're in at the moment. So it's going to bank on either the Yankees or the Blue Jays maybe not playing their best ball this year, and if they don't, then maybe the Red Sox.
Not the Blue Jays. Definitely not the Blue Jays.
I mean, the Blue Jays, the big thing I think about the Blue Jays is George Springer at his age gonna have another season like he did, because that just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yep.
Can he repeat that? Not repeat that, just somewhat have another great season, because he was a big part of their success. So,
what do you think?
So, obviously, everybody thinks Dodgers are built for October. They have two World Series these teams in one, but I'm gonna give you the Pirates, because Pirates do it almost every off year, not like every year, but every off year. We get like a 7-2 Pirates team, and then all of a sudden they're like a 60-win team. They start off hot, and then they just taper right off.
So you think they're a fraud? They'll be a fraud.
Yeah, because their rotation is not helping them whatsoever.
So it's actually right. I was talking about this to these guys the other night. I was saying this to Showtime. I was really excited. I grabbed Paul Skeens immediately, and then I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
He's not going to get a lot of wins because he's a Pirate.
But
he's going to throw he's going to throw a 2-hit game and lose.
Yeah. So Skeens, that pickup on a fantasy for a roto league, Skeens is mint. But head to head, never take Skeens.
Yeah.
It's stats over position, right?
Yeah.
But so like I don't know. Like I think there's one team I have as like a middle man. I think like the Cardinals, they're gonna give it a rush, and it's gonna help project them to be decent this year.
Well,
they're gonna be like the middle of the pack.
The NL West, or not the NL West, the NL Central, excuse me.
It's a whole lot of mid. Yeah.
It's really like but that's like, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be more
it's
fun.
Like, it's the Cubs to lose, really. Like, yes, we had the Brewers killed last year.
What happened to the Brewers?
Yeah.
The Brewers, they traded their ace, but they always find ways to win and develop guys. So,
they traded Peralta.
Yeah. So I mean, with the Brewers are just an interesting organization because their owner has literally said, "I am not spending money." Like, he's advocated that he'll never spend money.
Yep.
Well, so this new young guy they got, Mizworski or whatever. They're building him into their new ace, and they traded Peralta.
Yeah,
that's basically their game plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
They gotta save some cash space. I don't know why.
So they just build good players for other teams, but they don't really want to win.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's just like they are the minor league team in the major league. It's kind of, and I'm not picking at Miami, but Miami's kind of the same. They build their team to trade them off.
Well, so like it's weird, right? Showtime I think he'll understand this. I heard this quote recently. Somebody who used to live down there. Miami is a great baseball town, but not necessarily for the Marlins.
I've heard that. Yep, I've heard that.
It just Marlins baseball just doesn't fill the stands like that. But like, it's the whole town is Cuban, Dominican, Puerto Rican. It's all people who love baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, if they could build sustainable winners, they would get more people. They really would, because it's a great ballpark. I mean,
it's a lot. A large percentage of the community grows up with baseball.
Yep, and you see that with the WBC.
Yeah,
you see that. Yeah. It's very true. It's a good, and it's not in a super crowded area.
Dude.
If they could build a sustainable winner and be, even be like the Rays, for God's sake, that's a sustainable winner. That's around 500 team. You would get more people to go there.
Honestly, the Rays, I've thought about this because the Rays franchise just doesn't do that good because it's in Tampa Bay. I feel like the Rays franchise in Miami would have been a better fit. Yeah. Like, it's the wrong franchise in the city.
I get that.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was rumors that Tampa was going to move over to Orlando.
Well, here's the thing, right? So this is the way it works, Cope. So Orlando and Tampa are like neighboring cities. They're right down the highway from each other. One's inland and one's on the coast. So it's one of those situations where like the cities were probably talking to the baseball team and like trying to make better offers to like bring the business to their side,
Oh no, it was because of the roof. It was like Tampa wanted a new stadium. They weren't. Orlando said they would.
That's what I'm saying. So like Orlando steps in and they're like, well, we're right next door. We'll build you a stadium. Yeah. That's what happens all the time with these kind of things now. It feels like
now they might end up. They rebuilt the Trop obviously because of their roof. I believe they are still moving to St. Pete or no.
I don't know.
I know they were planning on building a new stadium. I don't know if they stopped after they rebuilt the Trop. I'm not 100% sure.
And I mean, I'll say this now, like, granted, they're back to the Trop, but I hate that stadium. I don't know what it is. It just sucks. It's just really bad. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the layout or the atmosphere or what it is, but
it's bad.
Yeah.
But that roof needed a redo, so.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless, it needed a redo. Hurricane or not.
So according to Google's AI overview feature, no, the Tampa Bay Rays are not moving forward with the previously planned stadium in St. Petersburg.
Okay.
They are now looking to build in Tampa and likely aiming for a 2029 opening.
Okay.
Yeah, where are they gonna get? Where are they gonna get the 2.8 billion to build this thing? Because that's probably gonna be the average cost.
So the new ballpark will be somewhere in Tampa called Hillsborough.
Okay.
That's what.
But speaking of that, because you brought up the Rays, before I get my next question, I also heard that the Rays are looking to do a revamp next year, like bring back old school Tampa, like the old school Devil Ray.
The logo.
Oh shit!
Like the '90s one.
Yeah.
Oh, it was fire. I like that logo.
Yeah. They said that they're looking. They've already leaked that the colors are going to go back to the original with the teal and purple, but they're just not sure. But they said it's likely going to be a rebrand.
I mean, okay, hold on. Let me see. Like this?
Yeah.
It's fire.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think it will just be like a Del Rey. Like they'll rebrand it somehow, but they said they want to go back to the original colors. It's kind of like going back, like Miami just did it. They brought back the teals, but third. But Tampa's like, oh, you brought back the teals? We'll bring back the purple full time. And they'll
because like the word Rays sucks. Like
I know, Rays with the sunshine. You're like, Jesus, that's just
Like what happened to like they were the Devil Rays and somehow they became like exactly like a sun ray.
Yeah.
Like very corny. I'm all the way for it.
You went from a Devil Ray logo to TB. It's like, oh God. You downgraded.
Oh, dude, it's weird that they did that actually.
Yeah, like
I'm about to make a post with that with the old logo now.
And then you went from that nice purple and teal to what? Blue. You're like, wow, it's a complete changeover.
Dude, it
almost reminds me of when Colorado brought their third out with the green, because that team has always been black and purple, and then you see green, you're like, no, it doesn't work.
So like the weirdest thing the other day, because like it's just not something that ever happens, at least in my experience, but I was at the grocery store the other day, and I was at Walmart, in fact, okay? And so this is a very transient place, Las Vegas. People that live here come from all over the country. So you do see fans from all over the place, but I was driving and I was listening to like somebody talk on the radio about how like you never see a Colorado Rockies fan, right? Because like who's a Colorado Rockies fan at this point?
Yeah.
They're awful. And they just don't win. But in any case, I'm in Walmart, I'm walking, my daughter's in the car, I'm talking mess to her. I turn the corner, and this guy is in this Colorado Rockies hat and hoodie. He's got the whole everything on. He's so ready to go. I'm like, oh, this guy's ready for baseball season. I love it. He's ready for baseball season, and his team is the worst team in the world. Like, amazing.
It's like walking by a Browns fan.
Yeah. Oh my
God. Oh, it is, though. It really is. That's too funny, man.
Here's the second question I have is, are we watching the evolution pitching dominance or another season heading towards arm injuries and shutdowns?
I would say somewhere in between.
It's tough, right? Like, so
nowadays, it is,
doesn't it feel like the injuries, like it feels like every season now, automatically, like one or two guys go down with Tommy John.
Yeah.
Which, like,
but to be fair though, if none of them go down, that would be a dominance, because the pitchers we have now in this league versus 5 years ago is a whole different spiel.
Yeah, I think that like we have some serious stuff. Like, just to name a few, like obviously Scooble, Crochet, right?
Yeah.
Just those two off bat. Like, there are some all-time level pitchers out there right now in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, that's not even mentioning schemes.
But it's just to go back for a second there, Vince, is like it's funny because we've been doing this for a long time. It's like the last time you mentioned Crochet, it was like more of like poking fun at me when he was on the White Sox. And now, not too long after, you're like, oh, Crochet is one of the best pitchers in the league.
Unfortunately, he
It
is.
happens.
It's just wild
I
how that
wish
happened.
he wasn't. Like, I wish he went to the Red Sox and became awful. But he got there and became.
But I mean, I have the same thing because as being a Sox fan forever, it's like I was watching. I was in Atlanta during the spring training, and I mean, I was watching Chris Soleil just because.
Good ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels like this era is like. It's weird. It's been very centered on big hitters for a long time, right?
Yep.
Since we were younger, and the juicers saved baseball with their home runs back in the day, like it's been like that. Home runs have been such a big focus, but it's definitely like nasty pitching and home run hitting, and like that's the focus, right?
Yep.
For
sure.
Yeah. So I'd say before we move on to anything else, just because of the timing, the last one I'll say for baseball is which team right now, because we're just starting, so everybody's fresh, which team right now feels like a headline team that won't even matter by June?
A headline team that won't even matter.
So
I feel like it's going to be the Mets.
One.
I think it's
that definitely comes to mind.
That would be astonishing.
Yeah.
You are not off. It doesn't feel like you're far off with that though.
Yeah, I know, but just when you think about it, like the Mets, because you want them to do good, but maybe the signings and the changing, like you said about Bichette going to third, that might screw them. And
they're a huge collection of talent, but are they a team?
Yeah, exactly. Right on point.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's like the Yankees have had this problem many of times.
Yep.
And that's what they're doing right now. They're a huge, like they just have all these all-stars running around, but like how do they fit together? Like, I'm sorry, the moment they let the fact that Pete Alonso is not on the team anymore, I'm still like, that was the heart and soul of the
baffling.
team.
It's they think he's just replaceable.
Like he was literally the heart and soul of the team.
Yep. He just had a career year too. He was like, he's getting up there in age. We're gonna just leave him.
I don't know, man. That's a really, you know what? I'm on board with this answer. I'm right behind you with that.
I'm behind that totally. Yeah.
And that'll be.
I don't really see another team with as much hype as them that I think could flop. Like bad.
Now before we move on,
not bad, but like.
I'm gonna make one joke, and Vince is gonna hate the shit out of me for this one because this actually happened. It's real as shit. But last week I met a girl, right? I struck out, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" I put the Judge jersey on.
Listen.
I really had a Judge jersey on, and I struck out. I was like, "Oh fuck!" I put the Judge on. Should have put it on the Otani.
Judge is amazing. That's all I'm gonna say.
He tends to choke a bit.
So
yeah.
he does.
Yeah.
Caleb just cooked me so hard. He came out of nowhere too. He was like, Judge does tend to choke a bit.
Yeah, I know. He's the second most searched topic on Pornhub for choking.
Yo, Caleb popped out of nowhere and just to troll me. That was great.
So which way are we
going?
I'll
jump in on the question about the most overhyped team. A lot of people overhype the Braves, like not that I've heard of, just on the MLB socials. I just see them ranked way higher than they should be. I think anything goes wrong with their lineup.
Yeah,
that's the biggest. Hurt,
that's the
their rotation
with them is
like Sale goes down.
It happens every year. It feels like
it's trouble.
They feel like they're almost a catastrophe-prone team.
Exactly. Yep. And I see them, pick to win the division, make a walk-up. I don't even see them making the playoffs, honestly.
That's fair.
I don't know. The league, as you said,
that's
where I had that weird opinion last week about the Braves. Apparently, from what I've read, is that they said they actually have depth in their rotation, and I'm like,
no, they don't.
it's
They really don't.
I was
Well,
like, but
here's the
somebody's
question.
ranking it that way though.
Let's just put it this. Let's look at it.
That's
this
exactly
way.
what I'm
Do
saying.
they have enough
Someone's
depth?
putting it that way, but it's
Right?
not true.
Okay, so we already think the Mets are going to fall off. Do we think they have enough depth to get past the Phillies?
No, I think the
No.
Phillies win the division.
No, you know what I'm
Phillies.
saying? Like that's my.
No.
It's not like like last year the Phillies ran away with the division.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It
Like,
wasn't. It wasn't
there
even
were points where they
competition.
were behind by 14, 15 games. Like,
Yeah.
what did they do
But-
that's going to suddenly make them better?
Look, I'm not one to defend the Mets, but they started off the season on fire. If they didn't collapse in the end of the year, they would have been easily in the playoffs.
Yep.
So that's one thing.
The Mets were a shocker.
Definitely.
If they can play somewhat consistently throughout the year and not, be the Mets, everyone says meet the Mets. If they don't make a fool of themselves, they should be in the playoffs.
Oh, dude. It's actually like it's
What
kind of
can I
crazy
say?
when we start talking about it and you realize how many teams are good that can just get left out of like the fact that there's just a good possibility. Like, you know how many things have to fall right for the Red Sox to make the playoffs?
Oh yeah,
And like they could beat the crap out of a lot of teams.
they can. Yeah.
It's crazy. Like it's wild. And but the NL East is going to be the same way, right? Because the Mets are just because of the talent on the Mets team, whether they're good as a team or not, they're going to win a certain amount of games,
Yeah.
right? So, the Braves have to overcome that. And then they have to overcome a good team who has been together for a lot of years in the Phillies. The Phillies core has been together. Like,
I mean, you can't deny how good the Phillies have been in regular seasons. You really
listen,
can't.
the Phillies have not done anything this offseason to make me think they could get past the Dodgers. So I don't take them
for
seriously.
sure. Yeah. For
But
sure.
in the regular season, and
Yeah,
my
in the
best
regular
friend's
season.
going to listen to this tomorrow, and he's going to go, "What do you mean you don't take the Phillies serious?" I apologize. But you understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
in the National League, if you're not doing something that shows me that you're trying to actively get past the Dodgers roster, how can I take what you're doing serious?
I mean, all they did is step Schwarber, and that's it.
So I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, it'll most likely, lead them to win a division. But besides that, like, I don't see anything else.
I don't know. All right. So I know we got like the real quick. So we don't even tomorrow is March Madness.
Yep.
Um,
What's your fit?
we still got we didn't talk anything about NHL or NBA playoffs yet. So just real quick around the horn. Showtime with who's left in the tournament. Is your champ still left?
Yeah. Yep. Arizona.
Who's your champ?
Mine is out. Mine is
Arizona.
out. Oh, Kentucky.
Arizona. Okay.
Yep.
Caleb, your champion was out. So who are you picking from the teams that are left to win the tournament?
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
That Who's your
I
champ?
haven't done
Caleb?
it, the whole thing.
No, out of the teams that are left.
Oh,
Out
I
of the
was
Sweet
not-
16,
oh,
who do you think is going to
yeah,
win it
yeah.
all?
I thought I think Duke probably Duke.
Duke.
Yeah,
Okay. There we go. That's the right answer. Okay. We got Duke, Arizona. Cove, what do you think?
Well, my winner is Purdue.
Oh shit.
This guy knows ball.
Oh shoot.
I like that pick. I'm jumping on board with Cove. I'm bandwagoning with Cove. I think Purdue is going to make some noise. The Big Ten hasn't won the national title in the 2000s. I think that Purdue is going to break through this year.
Purdue?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say something
two,
else.
Purdue.
I'm gonna say something else. I have Tennessee beating them. I mean, not Tennessee, Texas. My bad.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, they got past Gonzaga.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
guess
sorry.
I
I'm
got-
sorry.
I
They
got-
took
I
down
got
my
that,
Hurricanes.
but
They
I
have
don't
to.
really
Yep.
think Texas is gonna go past Gonzaga and then take out, Purdue, and then
We'll
what?
see, man.
Play Arizona? Like,
Arizona's legit.
Yeah.
No, I know,
think-
but
I think
if Texas
they're
beats
by far the
Texas
best
wins,
team
they
right
play
now.
Arizona. It's like
Yeah.
so you're gonna take out the 1, 2, and 3.
No.
Like,
I have them
no.
beating Purdue, just Purdue.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But that's the Cinderella though. If all of a sudden Texas takes out
No.
Arizona,
I don't have
Purdue,
them
and
going past
Gonzaga.
that. No.
Arizona plays Arkansas. That's a great game.
That's a great game. Yeah.
I think
Definitely
Duke is
great
going to
game.
lose to St. John's. No offense, Duke fans.
Shoot.
Whoa! Nope.
Oh
I'm
shoot.
don't listen to this.
Oh shoot.
I'm taking.
I mean,
I'm
Duke
taking
has-
Iowa over Nebraska, Michigan,
Okay.
Arizona. No, but what if Coach Cal outcoaches Arizona?
That would be
Oh,
crazy.
yeah,
Like,
definitely.
that's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, Darius Acuff
possibility.
is the real deal. So I wouldn't put it past them. I think all these games will be close. All
Yeah,
these
it's
games
going to
are
be dope. It's going to be a hard. I'm going to try and bet, and I'm going to lose all my bets tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. You can't wait.
No.
All right.
But,
So
I
we
would
got
say-
the NHL playoffs coming very soon, like
Yeah.
Yep.
2 weeks. All right, Cove, you got some questions leading us through that towards the end of the season? Let's
Yeah.
check it.
So yeah, this will be an interesting one. It will make you think for a second. Which lower seed team feels like a first round nightmare for a top team?
In
Lower
the
seed.
NHL. Oh, hold on. I gotta pull up my
Yeah, I think St. John might be. I think St. John probably.
No, we're on hockey now.
Hockey.
Oh, hockey.
NHL.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
Okay, so I don't know. They're not like lower necessarily.
Let me look.
I think the Penguins are going to be a problem though.
The
Yeah.
Penguins definitely. The
And
Kraken might be a problem also.
my Islanders are falling off right now, actually. So they're a little concerning. Hopefully they make it in the playoffs. I guess we're gonna see what happens.
Yep.
But yeah, Cove, my first round nightmare would be the Pittsburgh Penguins, I think, for anybody
Yeah.
in the East for sure.
No.
My pick on the Kraken. They might be a lower seed also. The Kraken might be a lower seed.
I don't know if they could really take out, Colorado or Minnesota or whatever. My pick is Boston. Boston would love to go up against Tampa and take out Tampa. Like, I think that would be a good series.
That would be a good series. I can see why you would say that too. You know what? Boston's been playing some decent hockey too the last month.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Swayman right there, right? He's on his head right now. So going into the next one is which goalie right now looks capable of carrying a team on a deep run, not a Stanley Cup run, but just a deep run.
I mean,
I'm gonna say Brandon Boosie because Carolina is gonna get past that hump, and I think he's capable of carrying that team to the Eastern Conference Final.
that's a good choice. I'm trying to decide right now what I think here. I don't know, man. I feel like the Canadians could low key be sneaky, and what's their goalie's name? Dobbs.
Dobbs. I think it's Dobbs.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take him as my choice because I feel like I don't know, man. He's got 23 wins on the year, and the Canadians just like they're a team I think could be a sneaky problem in this playoff. Like depending on what the matchups look like, of course, right? So let me pull the standings back up. If this went down right now, right? The Canadians might take a draw against the Sabres. Right? That's not exactly easy.
Now, are you picking Pittsburgh because of Skinner?
They've just been doing good. I don't know. Like Skinner is a problem, actually. in my opinion, in my estimation, right, in the playoffs, he never holds up.
Yeah, but he's taken Edmonton to back-to-back cups.
And that's the thing. Like in the regular season, and as you're seeing with Skinner now, since they've traded for him, they have done dramatically better as a team. Yeah. There's no other way to say it. The Oilers have not done dramatically better without him. The Penguins have done much better with him. No question.
The only reason why the Oilers are staying afloat right now is, one, you got McDavid and Draisaitl, and they have one.
Isn't Draisaitl out from what I've heard?
No, I'm saying on their team. That's why they usually.
Okay. I was gonna say I thought I saw Draisaitl out,
but they're in one of the weakest divisions.
Yeah,
so it's hard not to be good in that division.
Okay,
that's just the biggest. Vegas usually dominates that division, but then you got Anaheim, Utah, Nashville.
Yeah, Vegas has been
a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah, it's that's definitely the mid of a conference. Conference.
I'll tell you what, man. Anaheim has really benefited because the Oilers and the Golden Knights have just not been the Oilers and the Golden Knights of the last few seasons. And the Ducks, while they've been good, they've been able to capitalize on the weakness of their closest competitors, definitely. And that's put them in good position for the playoffs.
Yep. And I know definitely Caleb's going to love me on this one because
will not beat the Golden Knights will not beat the Ducks in a first round playoff.
So yeah, you got the Knights, you got the Kings, and say the Oilers. They basically go against the Ducks, the Kraken, the Sharks, the Flames, and the Canucks. It's like practice squad for these teams. It just happens to be Anaheim's decent this year.
Dude, it's very. I don't know. I guess we're going to see how they do.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the same thing can be said about the West. That's the one thing I've noticed between East and West is the Atlantic. You never know who's really going to come out of the Atlantic because those teams all 8 teams have been playoff teams. In the Metropolitan, you got several Stanley Cup winners, blah, 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 and great teams that are playoff potential teams. But then you go to the West, it's then you got Utah, Nashville, the Blues, and Blackhawks and half that division. So it's both divisions have 8 good teams and 8 horrible teams.
I just wanted to highlight real quickly because I'm so shocked and appalled when I see these numbers. The New York Rangers, we are over 70 plus games into the season. The New York Rangers, the St. Louis Blues, the Chicago Blackhawks, and the Vancouver Canucks are all below 30 wins. Awful.
So because we were talking about this in baseball, and I kind of switched it into hockey, about complete lineups, right? Which team has the most complete lineup, top to bottom, in your opinion? Not by just looking at their standings right now, just as a whole, all the lines, the defensemen, the goalies, who's the most complete team?
Okay, so I think the most complete teams overall are all in the Central.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but I feel obviously the Avs, there's a reason the Avs season has looked like it has.
Mm-hmm.
Is because they have more than one good goalie. They have multiple very solid lines. But the team that I actually want to highlight for me that I think is low-key more complete than people think is the Minnesota Wild.
Mm-hmm. They picked up, when they picked up a Quinn, picking up a Quinn just fielded a huge gap in that team.
Yes, dude. And when you can field a defenseman like that, bro, you know what I mean? You put him with Faber at the same time. If you know what I mean? It just depending. You have Kaprizov out there. I feel like they have pieces that people don't realize how good. They're just this is a little bit of a squad.
Now, like me, I've always been partial to this team, but and it really some people are like really, but I'd say Dallas because Dallas overall has not made a lot of moves, and they have been consistent, a top team in their division for years.
Well, yeah, they're the other, and that's like the number 3 team you have to consider. Like I said, the top to me, the 3 most complete teams, and I didn't even touch on the goalies, but Gustafsson and Wallstead, I think they do a good job together overall. But yeah, no, so same thing, like Ottinger, is a stalwart in goal. That's when you have a goalie that you can trust.
Yeah,
It starts there, right?
That's just the unfortunate thing for Dallas. Is like I feel bad for Ottinger. Ottinger is the type of goalie that can win a cup. It's just some reason in the playoffs, it just gets into his head or something because he has amazing games and then he just falls apart. And it's not really the defense too. It's just more or less I think Ottinger just gets too much pressure and then he just can't compete. He's went to several game 7s and game 6s that were amazing. It's just stood on his head, but he just couldn't finish. So it just depends on who Ottinger plays. If Ottinger gets the right setup of who he plays against, I think Ottinger can take Dallas to the cup.
And like a team like let's say they drew today and they ended up playing. They started out with the Utah Mammoth. Utah scores a lot of goals. But I feel like a team like Utah, I feel like they'll beat up on them. I feel like Dallas will get them out of there early. That would be like a 5-game series.
Yeah. So yeah. Who would they be playing right now? Like, is it Utah?
Utah's the number 4 in the Central. So
yeah.
Right. So you got Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota, Utah as the top 4 in the Central.
Yeah, so yeah, they would go to Utah, and so they go through Utah. There's easy for him. It's something I don't think he has to do much to get past Utah. I mean, Predators aren't going to be the Avalanche. And then he runs it. Then they would run into like Edmonton or the Knights. So Dallas versus Edmonton, that's the scary one. So the Knights versus the Stars, and that's been deep too. So I mean, I think that's pretty hard for Dallas. If they get Edmonton, I think they can. That's the pocket I'm looking for. Get Edmonton because Edmonton takes out Golden Knights. They'll get past. But if they get the Knights, then the Knights will probably get past Dallas because the Knights seem to have Dallas's number all the time in the playoffs.
I think that the Wild or the Ducks are going to come out of the West.
Yeah.
That would be awesome too. It would be very cool.
Be, but it's the same thing. I have the same theory with them. It's just, I mean, you guys have heard me talk about Minnesota multiple times in the last few months, but Minnesota just needs the right path to get to the finals. Like LA did it. Like LA walked in as an 8th seed, and just they had the right pick of the litter of who they were playing, because like. When they would play, they took out the number 1, but next when they went to the next round and they took out number 2, it was like because number 2 was beat up in the first round. So it's like, so if like Colorado gets hurt and Minnesota get hurt, it's like okay, then Dallas can be that team, or Anaheim can sneak in.
If you pick today, what do you think the matchup is going to be for the Stanley Cup Final?
I think I've said it before, and I was like, and everybody was like, not Colorado, especially when Colorado was undefeated. I still put Dallas in there. I really do put Dallas in there. And I'm just going to start there as a wild pick is like Dallas, Carolina.
Okay. What do you think, Showtime? Who's your Stanley Cup Final?
Colorado, probably. I would say.
You think they're going to win it all?
Yeah, I mean, just based off what I've watched, I would say they're probably one of the better teams.
Yeah, so going into the season and most of the season, I've kind of picked them as well. I think they've looked awesome all season. I don't know why I'm
Maybe
high on the
Tampa. I
idea
don't
of
know.
the Wild, but I'm taking the Wild to come out of the West.
Okay.
And I think the Stanley Cup is gonna be the Wild. The East. This might be the year that the Canes actually get there. I'm gonna go Wild in the Canes to my Stanley Cup final.
Okay.
What do you think, Caleb?
Probably Knights and I don't know who else. Probably Knights and Panther probably.
Nah, you're out of here. you
You said Panthers. Panthers are not sniffing the
Panthers.
playoffs.
He said the Panthers. You out of here. All right. Okay. Last but not least, the NBA. It is that time of year. NBA, much like the NHL, is at 70 plus games in the season now. We kind of know who the better teams are.
Yep.
So it's getting a little late, guys. So we're gonna get ready to start wrapping things up. So let me just kind of first top two teams. Showtime. Who are your top teams in the West?
Obvious. It's pretty much obvious. It's the top two teams in the West: OKC, San Antonio.
So do you think that the West is going to win it all this year?
I think one of those two teams wins it all. Yep.
That's fair.
Yep.
I feel like San Antonio is wildly ahead of schedule, and I'm totally here for it. I'm a Knicks fan.
I mean, San Antonio is wildly ahead of schedule. Another thing to add on to that, they were not supposed to be like a contender this year.
Yeah.
Like,
no, they're like
that's how ahead of schedule
in
they
a couple
are.
Years, but Wemby really plays like the best player, and the supporting cast, whether it's Vassell, Fox, it doesn't matter who you name.
He doesn't.
The whole supporting cast is ridiculous.
Yeah, Wemby doesn't even have to have a great game for them to be great. That's the thing,
dude. He can score 17 points, and they'll beat a team by 20.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
And
so
his impact defensively
time, I'm gonna have to get an Atlanta Hawks jersey.
Yo, did the Atlanta Hawks win tonight?
Yeah, today they beat the Pistons.
Oh,
that's
really?
what
I hope beat the Pistons on. Wait, let me see. Yeah, they beat the Pistons in overtime.
Oh my god!
Really?
The only way the Knicks are getting past round one is if they get the Raptors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he beat the Cap, man. What? Did he beat the Cap?
Wow.
Well, right now the Raptors are playing the Cavs, but the Hawks are right below them, so they could jockey position, and the Raptors could play the Knicks, or the Cavaliers could play the Hawks. Like it could happen.
Oh, it is.
So I mean, because I mean, this is gonna be the wild. This is my wild out take. He's talking about the Knicks and playing against Atlanta, but everybody in the Knicks are probably talking about Boston still.
I bet on the Wizards to win today. They are currently winning 66-35.
Again, what?
What?
Yo.
Yeah, against the Jazz. The Jazz are really leading their tank.
Okay.
They are really tanking, like no joke.
Okay.
Say hi. Say hi. Oh, you don't want to be on camera? Here, take her.
Boy.
Dude, they're really leaning into that tank, huh?
Yeah.
Losing to the Wizards by 30 points at the moment in the first half. That's wild. Like the Wizards don't even play basketball, bro. That's crazy. So now what I was gonna say when I got to saying that they were wildly ahead of schedule, the San Antonio Spurs, is that although they are, and I'm a Knicks fan and I'm supposed to believe this is our year, it feels to me like the Spurs or OKC are going to win again. The Spurs have been so good that no one's even paying attention to how good OKC remains.
No. Yeah. OKC is quietly on a 12-game win streak. Quietly.
The only team that can beat them is San Antonio.
Yeah.
Nobody else can beat them.
For sure, definitely.
Like,
the only thing you can say about OKC is I don't think they've even peaked. Because they've dealt with injuries all year. Yeah.
Bro, they've only had one or two guys healthy
their
at all
second
time.
best player. Jalen Williams, their second best player, hasn't been healthy all year. He just came back the other night versus Philly. Looked pretty all right. If they get the Jalen Williams that they had last year and throughout the playoffs, that's scary.
Unstoppable.
Yeah.
When I heard that they extended all three of them, I was like, no way.
Yeah. No. I'm like, dude, they have these guys under wraps for how long? That's their core three. And that's all they need because they develop guys like no other team.
Yeah. No, listen, that's a fact. And I'm kind of on board with that. But I think it's going to be one of those teams. Like, as a Knicks fan, I want it to be the Knicks. This news of Cade Cunningham and the collapsed lung, obviously, like as a Knicks fan, it sounds like that could be a good thing for our team. But the reality is like, I think the Celtics are about to win the East.
The Celtics?
I think Cade will be back by the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think.
And like, I'm a Knicks fan.
Yeah,
and I just said that out loud. Like, but like that's it. The Knicks don't feel like they've gotten better from last year.
No.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely
they
not.
They need a lot of guys to step up.
They need McBride back, definitely, for sure. They definitely need Mama McBride back.
So I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see. I don't know. That's all I got. I know tomorrow is March Madness begins.
Sweet 16.
I need to see my Yankees win tonight first, and then I'll worry about March Madness tomorrow. Very exciting stuff. Cove, are you going to be doing a show for tomorrow?
Yep.
All right. What time? 6 Pacific?
Yeah. 9 Eastern. Yeah. Same time.
Same time, same place, different host. That's all. But he's bald too, so don't worry about it. It's basically like the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fellas. That's all I got for this evening.
Right.
Anyone else?
Nah, I got nothing.
No. All right, guys. Well,
I got
as
nothing.
usual, thank you for pulling up, and thank you everybody else for tuning into Vinny's Corner. We'll be up on Spotify tomorrow, and we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully with some microphones and intro music.
Yeah.
Awesome.